Hello, this is Sabina at Cross Keys Crafts. The other day I got an envelope in the post, and whilst I was still wondering whether I had ordered something that I had forgotten about, I opened it and I realised I had won a prize in one of those paper craft magazine giveaways. I'd completely forgotten about taking part, but yeah, I was quite chuffed. So I thought I'm going to show you today what I have received, and I'll show you at least one project with these materials. They're all by Polkadoodles. I've never worked with them before, but yeah, I was quite pleased with what I got. So some of these are Zodiac themed. So I've got this craft pack with ephemera. So I've got 2 sheets each. I've already sorted some of these. I thought it was a bit weird actually. Some of these are sort of pretty male designs, and then some are really colourful and not so much zodiac related, like the stars, the stripes and the balloons. So I think I will sort these and put these more with my birthday themed ones. But yeah, I will definitely work with these today. I like the idea of having these star signs here as words. I've got the months here. So yeah, I think this is something I will work with. I might not use all of these papers, but I think they're quite nice. So then I got this little paper pack. This is 6x6. It's called All About the Dudes, but I think this is also suitable for female cards. I always like gingham and check, and the polka dots there. These are a bit like graffiti, so yeah, I think they'll come in handy, and I like the subtle colours of this here. Then part of this zodiac thing is there are 2 calendars in this pack, and you can make your own. So let me just show you. I've already cut it open. So you get all these monthly sheets. The only thing I'm a bit worried about is it's very smooth cardstock. I wonder whether I can stamp on these or whether I have to create something that I stick on there. But yeah, they're eternal calendars, so you don't have the days of the week there. But yeah, I think that would be a nice project once I find the time. Then I received this one stencil here. So we've got the butterflies here and the flowers. I think that's nice. I haven't quite an idea yet how I'm going to use this or how I'm going to combine it with other elements I have, but yeah, I think that's quite nice. Then these 2 I got really chuffed about. These are dies. Look at these. Cat, obviously I love cats, and I do have a friend who's got a schnauzer, so I think these will be really fabulous, and they've got a good size as well, so they will definitely be used. And then to go with the zodiac papers, this is a die cut topper set. It's really thick. Does it say how many? It says 312 die cuts, so loads of these pictures. Again, we've got these sort of colourful birthday ones that I can use with a different theme. But yeah, I think these are the sort of cute zodiacs. I think they will be really nice, and I'm going to use one today, which is the Leo. Where is the Leo? There's the Leo, because this is the card I'm going to make today. Let me quickly tidy my table here, and then we'll start. So today I would like to create a split stepper card. This is based on a video by Paul Ford, but I've got a bit of a variation which I haven't tested yet, so I'll tell you about this when we come to this. So let me just zoom in a little bit for the measurements. So for the card base, we need a piece that is 7 inches by 9 inches. I have got this is the little cardstock. It's the first time I've been able to buy that. This is, let me just check, 270 GSM. You want a slightly heavyweight cardstock because this card will have to stand up. But we're putting on some mats and layers, so you might get away with something a bit slimmer. I will show you in a moment what we need to score. So just for the cutting, that's what we need to do. 7 by 9 inches. Then we need 4 mats. We have 4 mats and 4 layers. Obviously you don't have to have the mats, so you can just have your layers this size, or if you have mats and layers, we've got two different sizes. So you need 4 pieces that are 3 1/4 wide and 4 3/4 high. And for the layers, you need 4 pieces that are 3 inches wide and 4.5 inches high. For the front of the card, I will use these papers from the Zodiac pad. I actually realized they weren't quite 6 inches wide, so I cut them from 2 pieces, and then I've got 2 slimmer pieces left for another card. And because I only had these pieces and I didn't want to use too much for the back of the card, I'm using some paper from this pad here. That's from the Works, but again, I bought it as a 6x6. It's not, it's actually slightly slimmer. But this card is just, this is just a paper, really. It's not even a card. Matches the color scheme quite nicely and the background, so I thought this worked nicely. So then we need 2 pieces. This is for the topper, that are 2 inches by 1 inch. And then for the stepper bits, we need 4 pieces that are 3 1/4 by 1 3/4. This is again for the mat, and for the layers, 4 pieces that are 3 by 1.5. So I've cut mine. These are all from the Zodiac papers. So I made sure when I cut them that I had didn't cut off 2 Zodiacs and at least had 1 row of the Zodiacs on this here, because this will be my main focus. I might cover them with something else afterwards with some of the toppers, but I don't think I will actually. So we need 1 topper. I have pulled out this topper sheet. Let me just zoom out a little bit. So I have got the line here, or the Leo. I will probably cut this out as an oval because I think this is a bit too big. They do provide a square here. They've also got this topper here with the stars, actually the constellation, and some words. I'm not quite sure yet how I'm going to use this, but this is what is one of those sheets that comes in the pack. By the way, my white layers, I just cut them from some pattern paper that I'm not really using anymore, and you can't see it through there, so I think that's fine because I didn't really have a thin white paper at the moment. So, and then my idea, this is what I'm adding. I would like to create a fastening in the back. You will see later the card opens up like this, like this, it pulls apart. But I think this recipient doesn't really know how to do it, and if it doesn't want to stay put, it'll topple over. And I think by creating a fastening, I can resolve that problem. So at the moment, this strip is, I've still got a long strip here. I'm planning to have, let me just get my paper, my pen out, sorry. I want to cross out this just in case you're watching, and I'm zooming in again anyway. So I'm planning to have 2 strips that are 1 inch high and 4 inches long. Just in case I need it longer, I leave it longer, but we need to pull it in a bit. So I gathered it needs to be shorter than the actual width of half of the card there. Oh, sorry, you can't see what I'm pointing at. It's pointing at the top there. But I might have to shorten this. It's just in my head at the moment. But anyway, I'll let you know later in the video what size we need for that. Yes. So what I will do off camera quickly is glue all my layers onto the mats. I'm just using my magic glue for that. So I will have those ready, and I will probably cut the Leo as well with I also might mat this. It is on a fairly thin cardstock, so I definitely need something to make this a bit firmer. So I quickly do this off camera, and then I show you what we need to cut, what we need to score, and how we assemble the card. I have prepared all my pieces now. The topper here, I cut that out with my oval, with my scalloped oval die. I've got a bit of residue of the pink background, but I don't really mind that. And I put that onto a bigger purple cardstock. These are the nesting dies that have got a scalloped and then a straight edge. I'm going to link to them below. With the paper here, with the design paper, because it's paper not cardstock, I actually used my collal glue because I find that the magic glue leaves some residue and you can see where you've glued it down. Then I've also decided to go for this little happy birthday topper. This is for the back. I picked that from a different page, not from the Leo page, but I thought that worked nicely with the colour. But all I did was I cut the little notches away where it was attached and I rounded the corners off. I think this looks so much neater now. I'm going to link to that below as well. I'm really pleased with the purchase. It's not a cheap corner rounder, but it's got 3 different rounds here, and yeah, this works really, really nicely, so I'm happy with that. One thing I have dismissed is using this one here because it doesn't really match my color scheme. I did think about inking that up, and I did do that on a different one. Let me just show you. But because it's so smooth, it rubs off. I even tried with a VersaFine. I just put my finger into that. It doesn't dry. It's got too much of a coating on it, so I'll leave that for a different project. So I'm just making sure now I don't get ink on my card base. So I've put the cardstock down here. You can just about see the measurements here on the top. I think I won't zoom in, I will just tell you the measurements. So we've got the 7 inches here, and these are 9 inches, and we score this in the middle at 3.5. And then I'm turning it sideways and we're scoring this at 5 inches. Just making sure I'm doing this correctly now. Yes, at 5 inches and at 7 inches. So this is all we need to score. And the 2 little pieces here that are 2 inch by 1 inch, we just need to score that in the middle at 1. Both of these pieces. We will have to score the fastening later, but I think, let me just see how long that is. I will actually score it from either side already at 1/2 because I know I need to have a little flap. So I will do this now, but as I said, I don't know the length yet in the middle. So, and now we need to cut this big cardstock piece. Put this away quietly. Now we need to cut away this score line here up to the 5 inch line. So I'm just using my scissors. Tom 40 just cut into it, but I think it'll be nicer if I actually cut the line away. So I'm cutting on the right hand side of that score line, and I'm also cutting on the left hand side of the score line. And then I'll see if I can just pull it out or whether I have to cut it out. By the way, I think I'm zooming in again a little bit now. So you can see that. So, and now we need to fold the card. The long fold, we just fold it, make a valley fold, fold it in the middle and burnish this. And then the 5 inch fold is a valley fold. And then the 7 inch one is a mountain fold. Because this is how the card sits up afterwards. And it does get, oh yeah, it sits this way, sorry. Did I say valley fold? It needs to be a mountain fold, otherwise you will have the front catching. So when the recipient gets it, it will be folded flat, and when the recipient gets it, he or she has to set it up like this. But because, as I said, it will be a bit top heavy, I thought we need something that keeps it together in the back. So that was my idea. And I think cutting the score line away is good, because then these pieces don't catch. So that's all there is to it, really. Now I can glue these pieces on. Just thinking whether it makes a difference, whether that way around or that way around. Oh, and make sure you've got it the right way around, because I can see here from the Libra it has to be this way around. So I will glue these on now. These two obviously go on here. Then these 4 pieces, they go on the front here, and the others I would put these upside down so that when they sit up they are facing the right way, if you know what I mean. So if it sits up like this, we've got the top of the picture here and the bottom there. So I have to be careful, because some of these images here, like the Cancer, it's the same upside down. So yeah, so I will glue these down, and then no, I'll tell you what, oh, I've nearly forgot an important step. Before we glue these down, we need to put the topper element on. So we need these 2 pieces. You can tell I haven't done this one before. So this just gets burnished in the middle. And I'm using my quick grab glue, and what we need to do is put glue on one side and just stick it down like here, and just next to the score line. It's up to you what height you want. I think I will actually put these in the middle. So if I flatten this down again, I can see where the middle is. Make sure, I said that before, that your topper actually fits onto this panel. So I want mine right in the middle, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just eyeballing this, but just about here. I'm not going over the middle line, just really right next to it. And this one goes the other way around, so the openings face to the outside of the card and the folded bit sits on the inside. And we need to do that obviously before we put the pattern paper on. So now I can stick these on, and and then I'll show you. I'll quickly just do the front bits. I'm not putting the topper on yet. This will be my last thing I will put on. I'll just show you then how we create the back with a fastening. I'm just popping in to show you one thing. Maybe it's just me, but I'm quite particular when I put pattern paper on. I wanted this to be a continuous row. If you look at the others, they are cut at different rows. So if I had this one, for example, like this, then I would have the star signs here, but then this sort of goes up here. So I'm keeping these 2 together that I cut like this, and keep these 2 together. I think that makes sense and is more pleasing to the eye. For the fastening on the back, so I figured this out now. We need 2 strips that are 1 inch high and 4.5 inches long, and I've already scored these at 1/2 inch and I've burnished them as well. So we need to work with these now so that one flap is facing the right hand side and one is facing the left hand side. So you need your ruler, and let me just grab a pencil. So on one of them, doesn't matter, it depends on just later on which one you put up to the top. So, and I've got it wrong there, I've got the centimetres on top. So you need to mark 1/2 inch from the edge, and I'm just going very lightly with a pencil, just sort of roughly, and I'm also marking 1/2 inch down. So, and I'm doing the same on the other side, but on this end. So 1/2 inch, doesn't have to be perfect, and 1/2 inch there. See, I've got a wonky line, but it doesn't matter. I'll make sure I cut it straight. So, and what we need to do on one of them, I will just do this on the right hand side. I will cut just 1/2 inch to that line, and as before I will cut, let me just think whether, yeah, I cut a slither out. So, and the slither should be the thickness of your cardstock. I did think about whether I want to mat this card. You can do this as well, but I'm leaving this as it is. It does look wonky to me now. I might just take a slither more out. I hope you can see what I'm doing. The important thing is that you don't cut this too short. You want this to fit later on. Can you see? I think this is good now. So, and on the other one, we need to cut from the top to the middle line. So, and again, cut on either side of that line, because the idea is for these to slot into each other like this, and then close, and then we've got the fastening there. As you can see, I can cut one of them, this one here, I can cut this a little bit lower, and then it should close properly. I might not be able to pull this out now. I have to get my tweezers on this. I'll see if I can get this out. I'll show you in a moment how to glue these on the card. So I've managed to pull that out with my tweezers from the back. Now we need to erase these pencil lines. If you're not very successful, you can always turn this around and put this on the back. I think I might actually do that. Sorry, I'm going off camera now. This one's fine. This one, I think I was a bit heavy-handed, but never mind. So these now need to go on the card. Let me just lift my camera a little bit. Onto the back here, obviously, and onto the top bit here. So one side needs to be glued down here, the flap, so that the bit here faces that way. And it's really up to you whether you want to lift it a bit higher. Just be aware, the higher you put it, the less you will see of your back panel. So I'm actually keeping mine towards the bottom. And I'm using my quick grab glue again. So, placing this here on the edge. Also make sure that when you fold it down now, this aligns with the, or is parallel to the bottom line there. You don't want this to be wonky. Be careful, even with a quick grab glue, you can still move it a little bit. So, and now the other one, make sure you put it in correctly. So this slot needs to face upwards. And obviously you need to have it on the same height. So I'm actually folding mine down and I'm aligning it on this side here with that strip without pressing it down just yet there. Can move it over a little bit then. and then I can press it down. So once these are stuck down, I can now put on these panels to cover the little flaps. By the way, I will, when it comes to my friend's birthday, I will add a white panel with the greetings for her, but I like to put this on after I've written it. So, and then I think the other side I will just decorate with these bits and bobs, but I won't go too low because I've got this here in the back. So maybe just have one here, or maybe even keep some of these back until I've written this panel. I have put my toppers down. I have propped this one up a little bit where it's not sitting on the others, just with a little bit of spare cardstock, so there's got a bit of dimension. So this looked good to me, but they are too long. So I will actually cut these shorter, and I will just eyeball this now and keep them to basically 4 inches, and then cut ½ an inch further down. I figured it needs a bit more pulling in at the back, so I will put a disclaimer in the video that I'm changing this. I thought I'd figured it out before, but obviously not good enough. This is a bit wide now, but it doesn't matter. So, and the same on the other side, just going in a little bit, trying not to cut this too wide. So the camera picks that up, and then what I will do is just cut these down here right next to where I had cut them before, and nobody will notice that I hadn't done them before. I could actually use my corner rounder. I think I will do that just to give it a neat finish. I will use my smaller one now, so just pop that in there. As long as you've got sturdy cardstock here, these will be fine. So this is the same, this is a little one, the one 270 I think I said. Yeah, that's so much better. So this basically pulls this back now, and then this means when it stands up on the front, it doesn't fall forward, or at least that's the idea. So the card, sorry, it's a bit difficult to show. I might have to burnish these a bit more. So the card is supposed to stand up like this. Yeah, there you can see. And then it's not likely to topple forward. This actually, does it work as a stand? No, it doesn't, but at least it holds it back. So what's left to do on the front is to put the topper on. So all we need to do is put some glue here. And then just place the topper here in the middle. Also, I'm trying to have the middle here of that on the score line. Which is easy because I've got the scallops there, so I'm aligning those and I'm pressing it down. Could have put it a bit higher. So I'm just thinking a little bit is missing because the pattern paper is a bit subtle. I think I will just put some stars on here. I had silver mirror cardstock in mind anyway, but I thought it would have been a bit too much for the mats. But I think I'm just going to either die cut some or get my star sequins out. I think they would finish this really nicely. You've got the little stars here, so I'll probably just do that. But then the pop-up element, sorry, it's difficult to show, will pop out like this, so it will stand like this. I will take a photo and put this in the end how it sits up, and then these sit in the front. As I said, I probably have to burnish these a bit more so that they are really crisp. Maybe I should have done that a little bit more. I can't burnish them there now, but I can fold them over and do it on the mat here, just so they've got a bit more, yeah, they stand a little bit better. Yeah, but yeah, see, this is really nice. And I think my idea to have the fastening in the back is quite handy, because then it will definitely stay in place and will sit up like this. So I will just put my finishing touches to this off camera, and then I just put a photo at the very end, or a little video snippet of how it looks. Yeah, if you like this card, you might want to give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of what I'm creating, you might want to subscribe to my channel. I'd be very happy about that. And I'll see you soon with another video. I'm just popping in with one more adjustment. First of all, whilst I'm here, I might just as well show you. I found another sentiment on one of the other sheets that I thought would fit. I saw the signs, it's your birthday. These are the stars I've added. They're just from the works. They were pound, like these sort of white iridescent ones, and I think they go really, really nicely with this pale purple. And I've just glued them down with my collal glue. And I've used this pickup tool. This is really great. It's from Dove Craft. I will link to that below. I think I got it through Amazon. It's perfect for picking the sequins up. But because these bits here at the front, the steppers, want to fall flat all the time, it's really, really difficult to adjust them. I thought it could do with a little stopper. So what I have done, I have just cut from a fairly thin cardstock. I think this is 180, only at the darker purple, but it doesn't really matter. I have cut a piece that is 2 inches long. This one doesn't too matter. Doesn't matter too much. I've just picked 1.5, and what you do is you create a concertina, and when you glue this down, this determines how far your steppers here can actually come apart. You can do this in rather than doing the 1/2 inch, you can do this in 1 inch, but basically I'm going to put this fairly high. But if I glue this down here and here, I know it can't unfold too much. I might just put it a little bit lower actually. I'll just test this now. I might actually put it at the bottom. Yeah, I think I will just put it at the very bottom, so don't make it wider than it already is. So I'm just putting it, it's up to you whether you put it this way around or whether you put it this way around. I think, yeah, I will actually put the opening to the top. So all you need to do really is put your glue on, just putting it both sides at the same time, placing it here at the bottom, as long as it's straight and sort of in the middle, pressing it down here, and then I'm closing this shut so that it picks up. And this is so much better. It gives a little bit of bulk when you pack it, but this will definitely keep these in place. So I'm just quickly doing that with the other one off camera, and then, as I said, at the end of the video I will quickly put a picture or a little video of how the card looks set up.